YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you happen to be watching me from. Hi, it's Lottie. Welcome to The World According to Lottie, my weekly vlog. For this instalment this week, I am going to touch upon quite a vital date in the journalist's calendar, which we usually start thinking about at the beginning of the year, which, if I say later, will sound ridiculous to most people, but journalists, given the amount of stuff we get to review, it's quite a crucial moment. I am talking about drafting up top 10 lists of the end of the year, particularly albums. I'm here to tell you that, or from my experiences, it can be a really exciting process, but at the same time it's incredibly brain draining. And because it's quite a slow, steady process. It's picking your top 10 albums is easier said than done, basically. Well, and I've developed a way every year, ever since I've been writing for magazines, a way of sort of choosing your top 10. The first thing I do is make a list, and this list is normally very long. I've calculated roughly how many reviews I get a week to review and how many that equates to per month. I get about 2 or 3 to review a week. And you times that by 4 per month, so about 10 albums to review a month. So times that by 12 and that's over 100 albums in the year. Yes, it's a lot. It's a lot. But, you know, you get to listen to lots of cool music, so it's a perk as well, but then you're sort of counting the albums you've bought personally for your own leisurely listening, albums you haven't reviewed. So basically, if you find out your favourite bands have released an album this year and you missed your chance to review it, you usually end up buying it. So that's probably another, 4 albums a month or something like that, which gives you the total of, basically over 100 albums a year. Yeah, it's a lot. So then you've got to filter through those albums you've reviewed or bought, and kind of do an elimination process where you think, right, which of these albums weren't quite up to scratch in your personal opinion. Well, the way I do it, if I've reviewed it and it's received more than 8 out of 10, they stay on the list. If they're 7 out of 10 or less, then clearly they didn't make the cut this time, so I thought, right, those ones all eliminated. Then 8 out of 10, then you start to do the elimination process. So you listen to the albums you've potentially picked that you think you're going to think, okay, these will be probably possible contenders. If the way I start to eliminate, if I get bored listening to it, if I have to skip more than, say, 4 tracks because I get bored, they're automatically, no, you've not made the cut this year. And this sounds really horrible saying it now, but I do want to say I do appreciate all the bands, I do appreciate all the work you do to create really good albums, because I know how hard you work. So I'm not slating you at all. It's just that the album, in my opinion, didn't make my top 10. That's nothing personal against you, it's just, it just didn't make the top 10 this year. So the elimination process, you've managed to narrow it down to, say, I don't know, 15 to 20, so you're not too far away. The next thing then you do is listen to all of these albums back to back to make sure you are making the right decisions, and that's like a second proofing, like a second listening. So they've passed round 1, they've got to pass round 2, and if they don't pass round 2, then they're off the list. So so I'm getting tired just talking about it, It's like I said, I'm hoping a lot of music journos watching this can watch this listening and thinking, yeah, that, yeah, no, I've been there, yeah, no, she's right, well, don't like to be right. I find it unsettling being right. I don't know why, because I'm often the one who's always wrong, so whatever. The next thing, so once you've realised, now you think, yes, I've listened to the albums I like, thinking, yes, this is my top 10. Right, brilliant, I can start writing up the passages. This is going to be the best review ever. Oh my goodness, I'm nearly there. Then you see, then you realise you've got to number them in order of preference, which is another kettle of fish altogether. Because then, whatever albums you've picked, I mean, you get to listen to some awesome albums over and over again, which really isn't an issue. You get to listen to your favourite albums over and over again. That's awesome. But then you've got to think, okay, now which ones are going, because you have trouble deciding now, where are you going to fit? Like, I was like, oh, okay, this one can go at number 3. Or like, oh no, wait, you can go at number 3, and yeah. Oh no, you can start my top 10. No, you can come back up to the top. Yep. It's a bit of a mind-boggling process, particularly if you've picked 10 outstanding albums out of the hundreds you've reviewed or bought, whatever. So yeah, that can be a tedious process, particularly got to listen to all of them. You end up having to listen to them several times to confirm you've made the right decision on, in your heart, yeah. So another issue being that if especially if particularly during December, you think, right, December time, you can definitely confirm your top 10 because, there's not going to be any new records coming out unless you're One Direction or a long-standing artist creating a Christmas love song CD. Basically, December for bands who aren't One Direction and who aren't long-standing artists creating Christmas albums, December's no man's land for sales. So, because everyone's getting ready for Christmas and people are running out of money. So you think, right, okay, there's no chance of a band releasing an album in December, or I could be wrong, you never know. But yeah, it's usually when you discover an album late in the year after the release date, and then either a friend recommends it to you, or you think, oh, I didn't know so-and-so released this year. If the album is, you think, mediocre, it's not a problem, you can just brush it aside. But then if you think it's so good, you want to incorporate it in your top 10, that can be another sort of pickle, because you sort of think, there's this little debate going on in your head, sort of like, you're thinking, right, I'd really like to incorporate it in my top 10, it's so good, I want to tell people about it, but then your other brain's like, nope, you've decided on your top 10, the deadline's next week, you can't allow any more. The other brain, it's so good though, but it's so good, I want to tell people about it. Nope, you've decided on your top 10. So yeah, there's an ongoing battle in your head whether to include it or not. You sometimes might include it, sometimes you may not. Either way, that's another little niggly issue. But having said all that, it is a really rewarding thing. Once it's finally up online, you've made your decisions, you've written your passages. Well, this year I'm going to do a top 10 albums video as well. So once you've written your passages, you've done everything you want to do, and you've sort of, like I say, once it's ready for online viewing, and once it's on the web, and then bands you have included in your top 10, and then you can message them saying, hey guys, you've made my top 10 this year, congratulations. And then when they share your article, it's fantastic. It just goes to show that they do show appreciation for your words. And that's the thing. It doesn't matter if it's a sentence or a word, a positive word or a positive sentence, or a positive long essay. Bands do appreciate positive feedback. I know that. You know that. Most of us know that. Everyone appreciates positive feedback now and again, and there is a lot of negativity around, particularly on the internet. So a little message from me, if you like something, don't be afraid to say. I'm like that. If I love something, I will pour it out to my heart's content, you know, and I'll share it until I'm blue in the face. But, you know, so a little thing from me, say something positive, think something positive, say some, you know, even if it's like complimenting your friend's new top, or if it's, you know, to give them a smile, do something positive from me. Anyway, this is me. Hi, bye everybody, and I will see you all next week on The World According to Lotty. Love you. Rock on.